I'm now out in the parking lot with Chip Foose and his Christopher Titus mobile. No, his, what are we calling this one?
This I call the Hemisfear. And
yes.
this car was actually a car I designed in 1990 when I was a student at Art Center. Chrysler Corporation came to Art Center and they asked us to create niche market vehicles.
And thus the Prowler was born.
Actually, this was the original model for the Prowler.
How'd this get to be so good versus the Prowler?
Well, here's the thing. When they said, we want you to create a niche market vehicle, you know, the example they gave us was a guy that likes to work out in the morning. You know, he jumps on his exercise bike, charges the battery, you put that in a car that gets you to and from work.
Right.
I'm never going to do that.
Right.
Rather than creating a niche market, which now you're trying to create customers, the approach I took and I presented to them is, why don't we cater to a niche market? There are already guys out there with older bodies and older cars, hot rodders, muscle cars, all these enthusiasts that are trying to build a modern hot rod.
Right.
And I sketched up this. I took the silhouette of a 70 Cuda and the plan view of a 30 Plymouth, 33 Plymouth, and I did this sketch and presented this to Tom Gale, Neil Walling, Kevin Verdun, and Tom Tremont, which were all the heads of Chrysler Design at the time.
And you built this car in what year? So how many years after that?
I designed this in 1990.
Right.
They wanted my model to keep, but I had drawn it as a coupe as well as a roadster with a rolled back instead of the pointed tail.
Right.
I wouldn't give them my model because I wanted to keep it.
Sure.
And I knew I wanted to build the car one day. I didn't know that they were going to take it. And to say that I designed the Prowler is a slap in the face to the engineers and designers that finished that car. But it was definitely the, shall we say, the birth point of the car.
Yeah.
And I made some great friends. Tom's been a good friend. They sent me a lot of cool parts. They sent me the motor for this.
Well, what is the motor in this
It
thing?
is, well, originally Tom Gale sent me a Dick Landy built 426 Hemi to put in it.
Wow.
But it took me 17 years to get this car finished, and I built it with metal crafters down in Fountain Valley. I actually had built a quarter scale model, took that over to metal crafters, asked them to build a full scale model for me, clay or foam, that I was going to use to, I was going to put a skin coat of fiberglass on it and then hand shape an aluminum body. They came back with, we would like to produce these. So they produced 5 of them. And this was the first one that we built. But when Chrysler got involved and they knew I was now building a newer car, they were re-releasing the Hemi.
Right.
And this is the very first of the 6.4 liter Hemis. It's not in any of the production car. This is only available through Mopar Performance.
And theirs don't come with carbon fiber stacks.
No, we built all that. And Stu Hilborn built the injector system, and it's made it up to a ZF 5-speed transaxle.
What is the orange that's on that transaxle? Because I love that color.
It's just something that I've put together.
Chevrolet orange, Adam, obviously.
Yeah, you put that color together yourself? Do you call it something?
Let's see, Carolla Building Orange.
All right, well, I need some money then. Yeah, that's great looking. And it's for those of you who are just listening at home, it's a mid-engine. I would describe it as the Prowler, if you could sprinkle pixie dust on the Prowler and make it exactly how you wanted to make it without the crazy bumpers in front and the stupid trailer in the back.
Right.
And the ass who buys one too. So, and the glass roof is just, I don't know, there's something, the way the glass roof meets the windshield at the top with nary a seam. There, it's just it's so sleek, it's so smooth.
Thank you.
I'm noticing also the front end, and I'm looking at the disc brakes, which have an old style roadster look to them.
My original model that I built at Art Center had the fenders.
Oh, you cut it. Wow.
All of these pieces were handmade for this car.
Wow.
Everything.
All right, so you have what looks like a rotor, but the rotor doesn't turn. The rotor's inside of what looks like a vented rotor.
What that is actually a cover for the rotor with a brake duct, so we're cooling the brakes as we drive.
Right.
So it's going into the vented rotor.
But has a great sort of 30s hot rod, 40s kind of hot rod.
What I wanted to combine was a hot rod, a muscle car, and a supercar.
Right. And is this all polished? Is this?
This is all polished aluminum. It's all
Wow.
70-75 aircraft quality aluminum, just polished finish.
Wow, and the suspension, which you can see
The
some
suspension
coilovers in the
was,
front, which is unbelievable.
John Hotchkiss,
Sure, we know.
John? Yeah, he developed all of this with one of his guys, Sonny. So it's all Hotchkiss suspension. It works really well. I actually was lucky enough to go around the track with John driving, and that was, that's a
He's
dream
a
come true.
crazy good driver and
He's
a great. He's a great
phenomenal.
guy, nicest
Phenomenal.
guy.
Well,
you'd ever
so
want to
they-
meet.
He brought his
They-
Porsche out here that he won. The
962?
Won with Monterey.
So
Yeah.
John engineered and developed all the suspension, and we developed all the other parts. And if you're familiar with Metal Crafters down in Fountain Valley, they've got an autoclave that's, I think it's a 15-foot diameter by 30 feet long.
Really?
So the entire body, everything is autoclave carbon. Car
Wow.
weighs 2,200 and some pounds, and it's just under 600 horsepower.
Jeez Louise. And
It's fun.
I love the grill.
Thank you.
It's not only if you stand back, if you're more than 5 feet from it, it sort of just looks like a stainless grill. But then when you get up on it, you realize it's not just a stainless
like a
grill, but it's
tweed kind of.
textured. And then this looks nickel to me.
It is nickel.
I love nickel.
It's actually a carbon fiber part that's been nickel plated.
I'm such a weirdo that all the chrome faucets that were in my
Yeah.
house, I had to swap them out for
For
nickel
nickel.
because
I'm
it's
the
so
same
much
way.
deeper. It's just so much
Yeah.
better.
I
Doesn't
don't know
look
if
cheap.
you've ever seen the P-32, the Roadster I built. It's kind of World War II theme.
Yeah, it's at your shop.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that's not saying much, but when I went to your shop, we were talking about it, like you were doing a sort of aeronautical kind of themed kind of roadstery. Yeah.
Well, all of the
But I don't think it was done at the time.
probably not. All of the components on that car, when you go to chrome something, you nickel it and then you get the chrome on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
But before the nickel, you actually have copper that's polished.
Right.
What we did is we took all the parts to copper, polished them, and then we glass bead blasted them so they had this satin finish, and then we nickel plated that. So it's
know.
all this warm nickel plating that's satin color.
It's,
and it's
so gay
the
that we're
finish.
talking about this for 20 minutes, but you're
We
so
can do
right.
your faucets.
I know it's
And
it's
door
just-
handles.
Anyone else would have just done this in chrome, and it
Yeah,
just
it's
would have
just hammered-
died on the
the
vine. It's
warmth
just
is so much more inviting.
It's deeper, yeah.
Just
It looks-
hammered some mesh in there from McMaster car and been done.
Yep.
There you go.
And what is this?
That's actually a stainless steel mesh.
But what's the design on it? Because it has
Well,
a little design to
you
it.
you can look in the McMaster car catalog.
What?
They'll have that mesh, and it's a stainless woven wire, is what they call it. And then we actually created a shall we say, a mold or a die with a negative space,
Sure.
and then a bladder mold, press that into it, and then you form it, and it fits in behind. So rather than just being one flat piece, you get this little reveal where it's actually rolling out.
And how do you by the way, the brake design where you took the cover of the rotor and notched it so it would accommodate the caliper and all that is just, it's ingenious.
Thank you.
It really is. And putting it inside of the old time, whatever, it's I just love it. The suspension is absolutely amazing as well. But the engine, can you get to it, or how
Yeah,
does one get to it?
I can open that.
Uh-oh.
Oh, high tech.
Look out.
Very slick.
Wow.
An electric hoist lifting up the hatch.
Car of the future, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now we have
That's-
that same wire
Love
woven.
that.
All carbon
Or
fiber.
McMaster car. Great looking carbon fiber
Thank you.
work.
It's,
Wow.
Even
you
the
feel
stacks?
The edge. It's it's all proper. It's
Even the
Yeah.
same
stacks
thing you do
carbon
in
fiber?
Formula One.
Stacks.
Yeah, it's
I
all.
said that 20 minutes ago. We quit
No,
tooling out.
I didn't hear the stacks are
I
carbon
said
fiber.
it.
But again, it's all carbon fiber.
Nobody's
so it's-
listening to you though.
Shut
It's
up.
thinner than sheet metal and stronger than sheet metal, and
Wow.
beautifully finished.
And yeah, valve covers, carbon fiber. You have the
Every-
same Adam orange on top there.
There's a chrome moly frame structure underneath that all of the carbon is attached to.
Wow. It is. This is impressive, and I
And now
love.
with just a few screws, you can get all this stuff out, and then the entire motor and suspension, all the pieces. The frame is a two-piece frame that's bolted together. So if I were to put this on a lift, I can drop the motor, chassis, and the transaxle all out in one piece.
Wow. And I love the hardware. I love the hinges. Obviously, this is not a McMaster car.
No.
The aluminum.
Yeah, all of those,
forged
everything has been designed and machined and built
Machined
specific
aluminum.
for the car.
Beautiful. And same with the seats, the buckets, more carbon fiber, more really cool design on the hardware.
What we did with the seats is I went and got...
Well, let's open up the door and come around this way.
got-
I'd help,
Cobra
but there's
seats.
no door handles, Adam.
Oh,
Well, actually, it's...
Sandy fart. Get those
a
doors.
little
I was
button
using the
underneath
head.
Oh,
you
it's
know,
underneath the, yeah.
mind control.
So they're actually... Let me pull that out. We took the Cobra seat. Cobra's a seat manufacturer.
Oh yeah, Cobra, right?
I took their components and we made our own seat back, and then did our own upholstery. But
Wow.
all of the essential parts are Cobra seat parts.
Notice the big gulp cup holder in there too.
Yes.
It's nice.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not very deep.
I love the fasteners. I love the aluminum. I just love the finish. It's just so excellent. Really is unbelievable. And the interior's got a kind of an Art Deco, kind of a 30s kind of vibe to it, mixed with a lot of modern features.
That insert is actually taken from a Mustang on the side panel. You know, the shape
65
is
Mustang.
very, very Mustang.
Yeah.
I always like that shape on a door panel.
Yeah, absolutely. But it must be nice for you to have all those relationships, because, like,
That's what I was saying in there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's when you take a car like this, and this one's mine, but when you build a car for somebody,
Right.
and then you go to a good guy show or you go to an event somewhere where there's many, many people that are bringing their cars, I might see 10, 15 people that I've built a car or been involved with their car. We all show up. We all end up going out for dinner, and
Right.
It's a fun
it's an
social
event. It's a lifestyle. It's not a career.
See, when we call the Kennedy brothers and say we need an adapter plate for our ZF training, it's like, fuck you.
You get in line with the rest of the guys.
I got about a 3-year wait. We need 200% deposit. We give you half of it back.
And you
upon
want it for a
completion.
what kind of car?
If you call again, you're going to add 6 months. Every time you call, I add 6 months to the delivery date. All right? You'll get it when you get it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Do you
your
call?
Chip Foose.
That's the transaxle we're talking about, not the Kennedy brothers.
No, not the Kennedy brothers.
Even
right.
the headlights are all custom built.
Oh, it looks
And-
like everything
and
on this.
in the
car
front,
just went up.
there's a surround of LEDs that are actually the turn signals.
Like the angel eye kind of effect?
Yeah, there was 1.8 built or put into developing this car. 1.8 million. The second car was just about 6, and then we amortized what we were doing. We were selling the cars for 300. So the
All right.
last 3 we did for 300 each.
Wow. Sucks for the first 2 guys that walked in for 650 and 5, but either way.
They got theirs first.
And do you have another one of these up your sleeve? I mean, there's another car you want to do a real limited run on?
I have got so many different ideas and things that I would love to
know.
build. And every time I go somewhere, you showed me what's in the trailer. I got ideas, and
Sure.
I'm going to be going home going, ooh.
Yeah, go ahead. Go sick, as my gay friends say.
The ideas are easy. It's what you do with the idea that's difficult,
Oh,
as you know.
preaching to the choir. All right, Chip, this has been nothing short of a thrill. The
thanks.
show, which is going to be on Discovery Channel, 24th of
21st,
21st.
June 21st,
June
9
21st.
p.m.
9 o'clock.
9 p.m.
Discovery Channel.
The
Yes.
biggest difference
I will
between
be watching, by the way. Go ahead.
the biggest difference between that show and this show is, we're inside. It's very warm here. You're going to see. We were in the middle of Detroit and Atlanta in
Ice
November
storms?
and December.
Nice.
I chipped my tooth trying to talk
Really? Freezing.
all day long. We'd show up at 5:30 in the morning was call time. We'd be out there, holy smokes.
But there's a dude
And
walking
you're trying
around in a windbreaker,
You're trying to look
a union
cool, so
guy.
you don't want the big jacket where you look like you weigh
Right.
300 pounds. 200 pounds was pushing it.
Sure.
But we were out there, and once that competition starts, you don't think about it. When it's
Adrenaline
done,
surging.
you want to get out of there.
Shots
Yeah,
of
it's-
vodka and coffee.
It's
and
a
you're-
fun
you're
show.
rolling
Like I
for
said,
the
it's
afternoon.
it's proof that guys will compete at anything.
I will watch, and like I said, if it's sort of junkyard wars on
cars?
4 wheels on cars, that's all I need to hear.
And you don't want to cry when teams fail, but
Tugs at the
laughing's a lot
heartstrings.
easier.
All right, well, Chip, we'll talk. I'll drag the Lambo out to the shop.
It's already loaded up in the trailer. We hitch it. We'll
I've
get
got
it
a
on
hitch.
Jersey.
Yeah, just hitch it. Put a tow
Only
ball
take when
on
we
this
load it
baby.
now.
The Hemis hauler.
Chip, thanks a ton.
Good
It's
to see
been,
you.
Our
My pleasure.
pleasure.
Pleasure to have you out.
good picture of this on
You're a
there.
crazy man, Chip. Did anybody tell him it's a paper bumper sticker?
It'll come off, right?
It's not like a vinyl decal.
I'm just gonna put it on the
Well,
glass.
glass, you're safe.
I just think it'd be a funny picture for you guys.
I should. But I don't know because I never built it, you know.
Nice.